Last year, some creative people at Bose came up with the idea of putting Bluetooth speakers into a pair of sunglasses. They called them frames. Now, welcome Frames 2. Better sound, better battery life, but what else is better? And are they worth $250? Well, let's see. They come in a hard cardboard box with a card cover that seems like it's supposed to be removed, but is glued to the box, so it sort of flaps around. And inside that is a pretty nice hard carry case with a lovely soft fabric interior and a strong magnetic clasp. And inside that we find this particular style, the frame's Tenor. At $250 or about 350 Canadian with taxes, the build quality is a bit disappointing and the weakest aspect of this product. The plastic looks and feels cheap. They're made of multiple pieces of plastic, and wherever those pieces join, there's a rough edge. The glossy finish gathers fingerprints and adds to the feeling of this being built with low-cost materials. The lenses do a good job of reducing sunlight and cutting down glare. They're polarized lenses, which I would have loved if it was 2007, but now everything has a screen on it. My phone, my cameras, my portable audio player, my drones, my car, they all have screens, and polarized lenses make screens look a bit screwy, so I have to take the glasses off to see them properly. Bose sell two different colors of lenses for these frames, but they're polarized too, and at almost 50 Canadian dollars, they seem a bit steep for plastic non-prescription lenses. Bose do offer free shipping if you spend over $50, but conveniently, the lenses are priced at 1 cent below that, making shipping an extra cost. Bose have teamed up with lensable.com to offer prescription lenses to people in the US, or you can get your own prescription lenses put in by your local optometrist. But not every optometrist will take the risk of working on what they might see as expensive electronic glasses, so you might have to try a few places. Comfort is absolutely fine. I thought the slightly rough join lines inside the nose bridge were going to bother me, but I don't feel anything. They feel really lightweight and really well balanced. It's hard to believe that there are two large audio drivers and a battery inside. I can wear these continuously for a whole afternoon and forget they're anything other than just ordinary, albeit chunky, sunglasses. As for the style, honestly, I think I look like an absolute moron. A moron who fell asleep on the way to a Daft Punk concert and woke up thinking it was still the 80s. I just don't think I have the right face shape for these, but other people seem to pull it off really well, so that's just a problem with my face, not the glasses. They turn on with one click of the multifunction button. I think I'd prefer a click and hold so I don't accidentally turn them on, but they do turn off automatically after 10 minutes if they detect no movement, and that can be disabled in settings if you want. Double clicking skips forward, triple clicking skips backwards, and holding the button in turns them off. Or you can just flip them upside down. Nice. There's a touch sensor on the right hand side. No! I hate touch sensors. This lets you swipe forward and backward to change the volume, but like all cases of inappropriate use of touch sensors where you can't see or feel exactly where the sensor is, this one is a bit fiddly and annoying sometimes. I usually end up with the volume too loud or too quiet or accidentally muting it altogether. Why, Bose? Why did you do this to me? Just give us buttons. Buttons make sense. Bose are fairly quiet on specs for these, so all I know is that the weight is just under 50 grams. They haven't mentioned battery capacity, but they do claim up to 5.5 hours of runtime, and in my test playing one song on repeat at about 30% volume until they died, I got 7 hours and 35 minutes. Fully charging them takes about an hour, so battery life and charging time are both really excellent. They use Bluetooth 5.1. They don't have aptX, AAC or LDAC, they only have SBC. But to be fair, it would be quite pointless putting any of the higher quality codecs in these because you're not going to hear that additional quality in a product that doesn't sit in or over your ears and doesn't have the audio quality to reveal those higher bit rates. And that brings me to sound quality. This is a product with which you have to consider what it is and how it works before judging the sound quality or comparing it to headphones or earbuds. This is a pair of sunglasses that doesn't put speakers in or even against your ears. It's playing sound out of the arms and aiming it towards your eardrums in a very directional way. And as such, it has a lot of technical challenges to overcome. And the moment I used them for the first time, I was actually really impressed. The bass is nothing like in-ear earphones or overhead headphones, but still way better than I was expecting from a pair of sunglasses. Mids and highs are nice and clear, not too piercing or shrill, and there's a lot of stereo separation to the sound, which I like. What's amazing is that it feels like the audio is coming from inside my own head. It's so weird in a good way. I feel really free, and it feels less stressful for my ears to listen to things this way rather than having something inserted right inside my ear canal or covering my entire ear. Aside from original AirPods, this is about the most comfortable earphone, headphone type thing I've used in recent years. Music doesn't sound great, but it's better than I expected. I'd place the quality below original AirPods, but it's not bad, and it's certainly good enough to casually listen to some tunes in a fairly quiet environment. Think of them as sunglasses that also happen to have built-in personal speakers should you suddenly decide you want some tunes but you don't have your headphones with you. Something I noticed is that the level of bass becomes weaker and weaker the louder you turn up the volume, to the point that at high volumes, kick drums become just light clicks with no bass at all. I'm guessing they're doing this to try to maximize the bass and sound quality at lower volumes, but reduce the chance of distortion at higher volumes. If that's true, that's pretty clever, and it does work because there's no distortion at high volumes. I listen to music at very low volumes to preserve my hearing, and the volume I usually have these at happens to sit in the sweet spot for bass. But if you crank these up towards 60%, you start to hear the bass drop off, and at 80% the bass all but vanishes, leaving only the mids and highs. This is a product that works best at around 30%. For me, where these really shine is with podcasts and audiobooks. The way they deliver spoken word to my ears is like the narrator is in my own mind. Voices sound rich and bassy, and again, the total freedom and comfort of not having anything on or in my ears is just amazing. And that's what I'm using these for almost exclusively now. Above any other earbuds or headphones or Bluetooth speakers that I own, these are my go-to for listening to any kind of spoken word when I'm at home. What I do is pop the lenses on it so I can wear them around the house while still being able to see. Yeah, I look ridiculous, but I don't care about that. But they are sunglasses, and that means they're really designed to be worn outside in the sun. And that's where for me it gets a little bit tricky sometimes. Because with them not being in or over my ears, that means all the sounds of the outside world come at me with their full volume. Wind, traffic, people, none of it is reduced or blocked in the way that headphones or in-ear buds would do. And so, to hear what I'm listening to, I have to turn them up a bit higher than I would with other earphones or headphones. And then I have the issue of, not only is it not very healthy for my ears, but the bass gets weaker the higher up you go. So going for a run or even just sitting at the beach by the water, there would be enough ambient noise around me that I'd need to turn these up quite loud to compensate for all that noise. And loud is not my thing. The marketing tells the story of how these give you a personal audio experience, and it implies that only the wearer can really hear the music. In practice, that's not really true. Even at low volumes, a person sitting on the other side of a quiet living room can still hear it. It's quiet, but don't believe that only you will be able to hear it. This is not a private way to listen to audio. It might just be me, but I don't like apps that force me to create an account and agree to have my personal data transmitted back to the company before it will let me use the product. This is one of those apps, and it wants to grab a lot of data, including what music you listen to, your location, your device info, IP address, and a list of other data points about you and your smart device. Bose got in a little bit of controversy a few years back for allegedly gathering too much personal data on its customers through their headphone app, so I don't really trust their apps anymore, and I don't want them on my phone. Hesitantly, I installed it so I could get the frame set up. Within the first 24 hours of the app being installed, my iPhone froze completely 3 times, needing a hard reset each time. I've never had to do a hard reset on this phone in the 4 years I've had it, and when I uninstalled the Bose app, it stopped freezing. I can't say for certain that the Bose app was the cause, but 4 years of no crashing and then 3 crashes right after installing it does seem to suggest something might not quite be right there, at least for my particular phone. So yeah, I'm not going to be using that app. One thing I don't love is that charging is done with this proprietary magnetic cable, which is pretty cool and convenient to just snap on, but I prefer to have a USB-C port on there instead, so I don't have to carry the charger with me or worry about losing it. However, a replacement cable is only $13. Take note, Oculus. So after all is said and done, do I like them? Do I think they're worth the price? And do I recommend them? Well, for music, I don't love them, but they're not bad considering what they have to overcome to get the audio to your ears. My old original AirPods provide a richer, more enjoyable sound than these, which is not the highest bar to beat. But if you think about it, these are sunglasses. And are they the best sounding sunglasses I've ever tried? Absolutely. For podcasts and audiobooks, I think they're amazing. Listening to spoken word on these sounds wonderful, and I feel so incredibly free and comfortable not having anything in or on my ears. It just gives my ears a break, and that's what I love, and that's why I'm keeping these. The build quality isn't going to impress anyone, but it's functional. They look and feel a bit like those cheap spy camera glasses from a few years ago, which is a little bit disappointing. Do I think they're worth $250 or $350 Canadian? For me, not really. If you're the kind of person who wants your music to sound at least as good as the old AirPods, these will probably leave you disappointed. But if you're a casual listener or a podcast fan, there's definitely a valuable and unique place for these, especially for spoken word. And if you already wear sunglasses quite a bit, these let you bring some sounds with you without having to carry earbuds or headphones, so you can lighten your pockets and your wallet at the same time. As always, the gear seen in this video or that I used to make it is linked in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.